very good morning to you. Thank you so much for finding time to be with us today. The show is Good Morning Africa. We get to bring you the latest news from Kenya and indeed from across the continent of Africa. My name is Miriam Ogutu, and it is nice to have you on board this morning. I'll take us through the headlines and then we will start our conversations when I'll bring in my panelists after I'm done with the headlines. We'll start with the Star newspaper. The main headline on the Star newspaper, Tycoons through multi-million dinner for Raila. Insiders say remaining 25 days, the most consequential phase of the contest. The story is on page 4 and 5, and the main pictorial is an emotional KU boss says days numbered over land standoff. That story was making headlines yesterday, especially on social media platforms. The story is on page 2 on the Star. Ex-City Finance boss escapes 12 years in jail. That is on page 2. Why the state blocked MP's special seating. An alleged plot to sneak a motion of approval of the next clerk of the National Assembly is at the center of the new battle pitting Raila Odinga and William Ruto's top allies in the National Assembly. That story is on page 6. Remember, Parliament was supposed to resume for a special sitting tomorrow to look at the Huduma number issue and other issues, and I think we talked about it here the other day, so I will talk about the latest. We'll let you know what's happening even as we continue with our countdown. And today we are at 26 days to our general election, and he woke up in Nairobi and died close to his people. That story is on page 10. We turn our attention to the Daily Nation. The main headline, Uhuru, Iowa soft but Karua will jail thieves. In city rally, the president admits that he chickened out on dealing with thieves and other crooks in his government, but promises that Raila's running mate will do the dirty job if elected to office next month. I'm not sure how Kenyans are feeling about that admission by the president this morning, because we know what corruption has done to this country and how much it has robbed us of the services that we are supposed to be receiving as Kenyans, the good healthcare in our public institutions, good education in our public institutions and others. And when you hear the president say he was a bit soft on corruption, it's a mixed bag of feelings there, I'm sure, among Kenyans this morning, and we shall have that conversation. Of course, there are some strides that have been made so far when it comes to the fight against corruption, but not as much as Kenyans would have wanted. So that story is on page 7. Uhuru division spill to Parliament cancelled. Speaker Justin Muturi's attempt to recall Parliament is scuttled at the last minute, with claims that it was not gazetted and was meant to elect to office new pro-Ruto leadership before the next House is sworn in. The story is on page 4. Okay. Sakaja and Igathe Duel ignored the real issues. That is on page 12. Land saga that cost Kenyatta University Vice-Chancellor his job, Professor Wainaina, stuck out his neck and fell. The story is on page 10. 15 women raped in Nairobi every day, study finds. That is on page 11. And MPs to return millions paid irregularly. 460 million Kenya shillings so far has been recovered. That story is on the back page on the Daily Nation. The Standard newspaper, Raila, Ruto's tough task to avoid runoff. The race between two leading presidential contenders is tight. According to opinion polls, and Raila and Ruto will now have to work harder to win over undecided voters to secure a first-round win and avoid a second round face-off. That story is on page 6. Schools heads dilemma as cost of food soars. That is on page 4. DP lashes out against fake polls. That is on page 7. Mo Farah reveals real identity. That is on page 37. And the main pictorial, Uhuru hits campaign trail for Azimio. That is on page 11. And debt-filled hits and misses define Uhuru legacy. That is on page 14 and 15. On the Standard newspaper. So that is what we have on the leading newspapers today. And of course, we shall be looking at President Uhuru Kenyatta's legacy. As I said, just 26 days to go. And then Kenyans will go to an election. and then after that we will know our next government. So President Uhuru Kenyatta is just winding up his time in office, and so we will start with that headline on the Daily Nation this morning. But before that, I'd like to bring in my panelist. I'm joined this morning by Gladwell Kiragu. I think she's not in Nairobi, but she will tell us where she is situated this morning. Gladwell, good morning to you.
A very good morning to Miriam. Good morning to my fellow panelists. Good morning to our viewers. I'm en route. I'm still in Kiambu County, actually heading to Juja.
Oh, you're headed to Juja. All right, so you will let us know, but we will engage with you even as you head on over there. And we are also joined by Chevan Karanja. Usually he is in Nanyuki. I don't know if that is where he is this morning or he is elsewhere. Chevan, a very good morning to you.
A very good morning to you, Miriam. I'm coming live from the Chaka Modern Market in Nyeri County. Yeah, that's where I am. I'm joining this morning.
Chaka Modern Market. When was this built? Jevan?
Yes, it was built during the tenure of President Uhuru Kenyatta in the last 2 years. And it is complete, but President Uhuru Kenyatta is yet to open it officially. But from the stories that I'm gathering on the ground is that they're expecting him, before he leaves office, he'll visit this market and open it for use.
Okay, all right.
But
so
people are still using and carrying on with their business as usual. And they are very happy that, yeah.
Okay, very well. Thank you so much. So I will need for the two of you to just stay online because we still have to talk about other things, even as we keep up with President Uhuru Kenyatta's legacy. And I think that will be our main topic this morning. But first off, I don't know if you were listening when I was reading the headlines this morning. And the Daily Nation, well, let's start with that, even as we look at what's going on. The stories on page 7. President Uhuru Kenyatta yesterday upped the ante in the hotly contested succession race when he warned that an Azimio la Umoja One Kenya coalition government will jail thieves and corrupt politicians. Without mincing his words and in an apparent reference to Deputy President William Ruto and his allies, the head of state said the Azimio pair of Raila Odinga and Martha Karua would not be as forgiving as he has been. Referring to Ms. Karua, the former Justice Minister, also known for her anti-corruption stance both in government and in civil society, the president said she was a tough woman who will put thieves in their cells. We have had peace because of the handshake I had with Raila Amolo Odinga, and I love the way he has joined the hands with the tough woman Martha Karua, a woman who will not hesitate to take action against thieves. They will be in cells. She won't forgive them like I did. So President Uhuru Kenyatta is out here telling us that he was forgiving to some of the people who stole from the public coffers this morning. I don't know if I want to hear that coming from President's mouth, but I don't know what you hear. What's your thoughts on this, Gladwell?
Miriam, I actually agree with the president's sentiment. He was a very kind man and a very forgiving man because we can see some of these corrupt people outside here. They're still working scot-free and he did nothing about it. There are so many thieves, some corruption now going around the country, and he actually was so soft. That is true. And that's why we have our hope on the Iron Lady who will come change things up, because we know at the end of it all, Mother is a no-nonsense woman. So I agree with what he said. He was a soft man and a kind-hearted man who had mercy, but his mercy fell on the wrong people, Miriam.
Okay, thank you so much. Jevan Karanja, I don't know how you feel about President Uhuru Kenyatta admitting that he was a bit soft as far as the fight against corruption was concerned.
Yeah, I think it's quite, I don't know what to say about it, but when President Uhuru Kenyatta says he was lenient on those who are corrupt, maybe he means that he give them room to change their behaviors, or he give them some time to rectify their mistakes and maybe be good people. But that didn't go well because people continued to steal from public coffers, and it has caused us a lot of development, a lot of projects that could have been accomplished. the money have gone into individual pockets. I think President Uhuru Kenyatta could have acted more better, but since he's still the head of state, I think maybe he was maybe willing to see those who are corrupt, maybe take the corrupt money to the public coffers and maybe surrender some of the property that they have gained from corruption proceeding, and maybe he could have forgiven them, but that didn't come well with these people who are corrupt, and I think that is why corruptions continued to prevail, because these people learned that President Uhuru Kenyatta was lenient on them. But I hope, as he has said, that Mother Karua is a no-nonsense woman, and he will deal with the corrupt. I think the corrupt should have a reason to worry as we head to 2022 general election if Azimio gets to power.
Mm-hmm. Yes, indeed. And of course, he's banking on the incoming government of Azimio La Umoja One Kenya Alliance coalition, should they be elected by Kenyans to lead the country after him. So he's banking on them to continue with the fight. I don't know if he's saying he failed or at some point he's just gave up, because a lot of times we've heard President Uhuru Kenyatta in public complaining and even accusing some of his former very close allies of being involved in corruption, and he admitted a good amount of money is lost here per day, and he asked Kenyans, what do you want me to do? But him now coming to say that he went slow on them, I'm not sure how I feel about that personally as a Kenyan, because we know how much corruption has costed this country in terms of Mercer's development. So we were just hoping that the president was doing his best, his government was doing his best, and there has been some stride that has been made as far as the fight against corruption is concerned. But a lot of Kenyans always felt as though the government is not doing enough to ensure an effective fight. And we've seen, of course, corruption fighting back. We've seen cases of high-profile people dragging in courts forever, and a lot of times we blame the judiciary for that. And so can we, now that, I don't know if he's taking blame, I don't know if he's taking responsibility partly for failing to tackle corruption, but I don't know. So should we expect better from the coming administration, Karuga?
To be honest, let us be honest this morning. Uhuru failed in terms of how he has fought corruption. Because Miriam, you know how corruption has actually, you have stated, corruption has actually made our country, we have gone 2 strides back from wherever we were during the Moi regime, during the Kibaki regime. So let's be honest, he failed. You can't have mercy on corrupt people out there because they are in your government. It doesn't work that way. And that's why we are hoping within the next government that is coming, we don't need people to have mercy as a leader. You're not supposed to be merciful to people who are actually destroying our economy, to people actually who are tainting our country's name. Because Miriam, there was a poll that was done in the most corrupt countries, and Kenya actually was ranked position 3. So I think there it's a wake-up call to the next government. You're not supposed to be merciful to people who are corrupt, more so people who are actually making even other citizens suffer. Miriam, at the end of it all, our beloved country is not owned by one person. The country is owned by everybody. It's not just the leaders. So as the leaders they are going to choose, they also have a responsibility of actually making our country's name and actually making our country's economy to go back to where it was, whereby unga, sugar, things were actually cheap. Currently, people are suffering because of the mercy he had upon some individuals. That should not happen in the next government.
Okay, thank you so much. But I must, I guess, give it to President Kenyatta for even admitting that, because a lot of people would just want you to believe that all is well. But he said, you know what, yes, on my part, I might have been a bit, lenient. So he admitted that perhaps he didn't give it his best. So maybe, I don't know. Let's leave that just there and move on to other. Yes?
Can I say something on that?
Yes, Jevan, go ahead.
It is not the mandate of the president majorly to fight corruption. We have the bodies that are mandated to fight corruption. What politicians do and what President Uhuru Kenyatta could have done is to give political goodwill, but it's not him to fight and to prosecute those who are alleged to have stealed from public coffers. I think that is something Kenyans we need to distance and make it clear, because we might end up blaming the president for the failure of other independent institutions. Thank you.
Okay, but he's saying that, but in him saying that he was lenient, that could be translated to mean that perhaps the goodwill to fight corruption was not 100%. I don't know.
Yeah, that is why I'm saying the political goodwill is what we expected from president, and that is what we expect from the coming.
But would you say, as much as we saw President Uhuru Kenyatta's heart was in a good place, and now I think, judging from what he's saying, it's like very close people maybe in his government, and maybe he did not know what to do with that, because that would have meant a lot of, I don't know, I'm not saying his friends or anything, but some of these people in these cases of corruption that has been mentioned, that a lot of people who, some of them are in government, some of them are allies to the people in government, have been mentioned. And for him to say that Martha Karua will not be as lenient as I was, I mean, what is that supposed to mean? We are joined this morning by Douglas.
I think what President Uhuru Kenyatta is saying, and I think maybe we did have the political goodwill, is maybe because some of his close allies, Deputy President was his close allies before they fell out, and some other people have been mentioned in mega corruption scandals in this country. I think when he says he was lenient, maybe he gave room for these good friends of his, maybe to change their ways and maybe to behave in the right manner. But that didn't happen. But I think he could have done more, and maybe what we need to do moving forward, we need to have political goodwill from the politicians, but we need also to empower the bodies that are mandated to fight corruption so that they can do it in a fast manner.
All right, thank you so much. And as we say there, we are looking at President Uhuru Kenyatta's legacy, and the fight against corruption is just top on that list. And from President's own admission, of course, there are things that we've seen him create a multi-sectoral, body that consists of EACC, DCR, the Assets Recovery Body, and these others, because he really wanted to fight corruption. And you could see he really, really wanted to fight corruption. His government was serious about it. But somehow within that long, about 10 years, and the years he has been, especially on the second term, I think a lot of that corruption started in the first term. We've seen how that has played out. We've seen now a lot of people, those who have been accused, are saying this is a political witch hunt. And of course, the rift between him and his deputy has not helped matters at all. So that has slowed to the point that there are people right now running who have serious corruption cases in our courts, and they've been allowed and cleared to run for elections in different capacities because the EACC and I think is it the EACC and Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions came out a couple of weeks ago and said, we will stop some of these cases because if we pursue them during this electioneering period, it will look like we are witch hunting. And I wondered, these bodies are supposed to be independent. They're supposed to do their job whether we are in an election period or not. They are independent and they work independently and they're supposed to carry out. So that confused me a little bit. But let me just bring in Douglas Kirimi this morning. Douglas, a very good morning to you. All right. So he's headed to a location where he's meant to be bringing us some updates on what is happening over there. But all right, so maybe let's just move on to another matter. Unless, Jevan, you want to say, Gladwell, you want to say something on that matter before we move on to something else. Gladwell, would you like to say something?
No, Miriam. Miriam, I'll be covering the Gatondo-Juja Farm Road. That's where I'm actually heading to.
So Gatondo-Juja Farm Road, when was that road constructed?
Actually, Miriam, that's where I'm heading to. That's a road actually which was actually done so recently. and it's a road that has been having so much PR and so much propaganda about it. A road which could have been done a long time ago, but some people chose actually to pocket the money and the residents there. I being one, because my parents reside in Juja Farm. We have tarmac with those road, Miriam, with that road, Miriam. The residents there, actually, there are people who have been born there almost 50 years plus, but they are coming to enjoy the road actually when it is tarmac this year. That is, and it's actually not yet completely done because it is actually a small section. It was done recently, the Juja Farm Road, that is up at a certain station, that is a certain point, that is Juja Farm Center. So it's not yet complete yet, whereby the MCA gave a fake promise that by December last year it was supposed to be fully done up to Adi, but it is not yet done because these people are actually pocketing the money. It is being done actually by the H Young company, and as we speak now, currently, Miriam, the tractors, the tractors, the engineers are actually not at the site at the moment. So I'll give you more updates when I reach there.
And do you have the name of the contractor who have been building or who were tasked to build this road? And from what I'm hearing you to be saying is that it took longer than was expected.
Yes, Miriam, that road actually has taken so long because the president actually had said, because it is linking to the Gatondo road. And Miriam, as I can tell you, that road had been promised that it was going to be tarmac, I think, for the past 2 years. But and actually, it looked bad because the vehicles got stuck there. So it's a road that actually, that's what I'm saying. Let me reach to the station so that you can see how it is done. And Miriam, the company which was given, which is the H Young, actually they're not doing a good job because at the moment, Miriam, it's actually not that good off. It's not that good off done. Yes, Miriam.
Okay, thank you so much. And Javen, you were, is it in Nyeri? Good morning, if you can hear me.
Good morning.
Can you remind us where you are?
Yeah, thank you very much, Miriam. I'm at Nyeri County, Chaka Modern Market. That is where I'm right now. And I'm here to see and maybe to interact with the people here and to see how this project has impacted how this mega project has impacted the day-to-day activities and how it has brought change to the people who conduct business in this place. I'll be getting inside in a few, and I will keep you updated on what is happening and when we expect President Uhuru maybe to come and open and commission this project.
Have they started using the market yet?
Yeah, they started using the market last year, but we have seen and President Uhuru Kenyatta is going around the country starting yesterday, opening the project that he promised the people of Kenya. He is coming to tell the people, this is the job that you gave me. I have delivered. Now I'm heading back home to retire. But if you can do this, you can elect this person in the coming government, maybe he can continue with a good job that I have already started. We saw it yesterday at Mweki. Today he is expected in Samburu or something. And he is coming to Nyeri, maybe next week or in the course of this week, and across all the country, opening this mega project. Therefore, I speak, and I have seen that this market has not only attracted people from Nyeri, but people are coming all the way from Mombasa, all the way from Nakuru, to come and get fresh products from this market. Therefore, it is a job creation entity. It has also encouraged farming. And when you go outside the gate, you will see mushrooming of other sectors of economy, like there's mushrooming of shopping centers, hotel, and so on, which is as a result of this market.
So it is a fresh produce, from what I've heard you say, it's a fresh produce market. They're selling grocery. What else are they selling there? Or have you entered inside, or is when you said you want to enter? But apart from fresh produce, is there anything else that is being sold there?
I think it's majorly on farm products, and maybe cereals and other products. But inside, I have talked to one person, and he's telling me that they have a processing unit where products that are highly perishable, or which they have a cooling system where the highly perishable products are stored, and they also have a processing unit where products that can be turned to other materials that for value addition. For example, the potatoes are being processed to tomato sauce and repackaged for selling. That adds value to these products, and that maximizes on the profits that these farmers are making. Therefore, it's a big project. We also have a room, an area set aside for milk feeding mothers, where they can go with their babies.
The lactating mothers.
Yeah. It's a very big and a very good project.
So it's truly modern if they're even considering the nursing mothers and they have a special private place to go take care of their babies. I think that's really absolutely great. So you brought up the issue of the value addition and the processing. I don't know how big that firm is or how big that processing plant is. But I'm interested, so maybe I'll give you time for you to find your way in there, and maybe we can talk when you're there, if you can find somebody to give us the information, because I think this is what we've been talking about. Right now, there are places in this country where people are harvesting, and because of we don't have systems in place to support how the surplus of this produce is taken care of through a value addition or whatever it is. We don't have that. So you find that a lot of food is going to wastage. And I think last year there was a report, an official report from one of the government entities tasked in looking into that. And they said a lot of food was being wasted. And that food, if at all we had mechanisms to ensure that it is taken care of, it would go to feed areas where we are having some lack right now, like this arid and semi-arid areas. And so there is that disconnect. So I think if we are able to do this, and I think that is a very good example in how we can use technology and we can modernize how we farm and also how we store and how we value add. We value addition to our fresh produce is very important, so that we're able to preserve the food, so that when it's not harvest time, we are able to use that. We are able to use that food that was still preserved in a way that it can be used. So that is something that I'm interested to see more about and learn more about, and perhaps other people from across the country could copy that. So I'll let you to make your way to that place inside, and specifically the place that you've mentioned. I really want to learn more about that and know how that is working out for them, and perhaps how that has changed the lives of the farmers there. I'd like to know more about that, and perhaps this will be a great opportunity for all of us to learn. So Jevan, thank you so much for that information. So make your way there. I'll be in touch with you in a few minutes. Douglas Kirimi is in Meru, and he was also making his way to another place, and he was meant to be bringing us some update. The last I was seeing him, he was on his way. I don't know if he has arrived, maybe not. Douglas, I don't know if you're able to talk this morning. Good morning.
Good morning, Miriam Ogutu. At the only national held, privately held museum in Meru, and I'm with the owner, Mr. Morethi, and we've tried to make time to also reschedule what he has been doing. And I'm inside one of the facilities, and I'm also with him. Maybe he can also talk to us. And also, the reason why we came to this private national museum is that there's a road that the president constructed, and that what facilitated him to be able to also set up this facility. And also, mostly, the most important part of it is that he was also a teacher that also quit his job. Because of that road, they can now be able to create employment for people, himself, their family members, and also the community at large, because there are also people who come at their market to, when they come visiting is a museum, they can also come and also facilitate business activities and also facilitate transport activities. For example, in this particular place, Miriam, he has been able to invest in 2 acres of land to set up this private national museum. Maybe he can be able to say hi to us and also introduce himself.
Hello, good morning.
My name is Joshua Muredi, the founder and the director of this museum. The museum is called Muredi Pori Cultural Center. We started this museum 4 years ago, and it's through the initiative of His Excellency the President that I've been able to receive many visitors. In past, I could get few visitors, but because of the accessibility of this road, Mwendanto to Kezaku Road, and then the bypasses that the President has constructed, that is from Yukumene or to the Meru National Polytechnic, right away, I'm able to receive maybe even 4 to 5 buses per day.
Oh.
These are the students from different schools, pupils from different schools coming here to learn about the Meru culture, the homestead, the origin of Meru. We also have the Bible on the ground here. So I'm receiving so many students. And because of His Excellency President, also I'm receiving students from various universities in Kenya. For example, Nairobi, Kenyatta University, Kenya University, Meru National Polytechnic, Samburu Vocational and Training, who are coming here for internship, who are coming here for attachment. They are staying here, and the people within are benefiting. I remember one time, there was also one mother who came here, persuaded me that I better even sleep with her so that she can afford to get 2,000 to cater for the fees of a student. But through this initiative of this museum, now things are opening up. They are benefiting, they are doing the businesses, and through the visitors who are coming here, now even their pupils, their students are doing well, and they are no longer even in day school. So this is an initiative that is not assisting me alone, but it is benefiting the entire community. And this is because of President Uhuru Kenyatta. We thank him so much. Personally, I thank him because if this place is not maybe assessed very well, maybe I could not be receiving and people could
The
not
many
be
guests that are
benefiting.
coming.
But through that tarmac road, things are doing well, and I'm very happy. And I thank him. And I won't remember President Uhuru Kenyatta for what he has done, because at least now things are moving well in this place. So I encourage people to come, visit, see what we are doing here. And I also want to urge them and remind them the museum is also registered by the national government, which is also the president's initiative. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Joshua Murimi. I don't know, what led you to wanting to set up this museum?
What led you to set up the museum?
Okay, I was challenged by our Kenyan syllabus. You see, history teachers have become storytellers or storytellers in school. So you go in class, narrate stories, but the student or the pupils have nowhere to access what you are saying. And out of that, I started to correct the artifact, the tools, compile the Meru history and what have you, so that at least if you teach in class, then they will be able to come here and see what you have been telling them in class. So I also perused the social studies books that is in primary school, and I came to realize that all the artifacts that are illustrated in those books are nowhere to be seen. Number 3, when you go to the high school syllabus, we teach about the oral literature, but we have been narrating stories, but there is no one day that the student have experienced these things practically. And this is the reason as to why I came up with this idea. And I thank the president because he has really assisted me to fulfill my dream. So our Kenyan syllabus is quite challenging. But now it is becoming easy because students, teachers, professors from various universities are coming here to do some research on anthropology and the rest. Yes.
Okay, thank you so much. And you've said your museum has been in existence for what, 2 years?
Yeah, it has been registered for 2 to 3 years now.
2 or 3 years now. So how has COVID-19 affected perhaps the visitors, the number of visitors during that period that we had the lockdown and all that? How did that affect the daily activities there?
COVID-19 really affected us so much because when there was that closure, we didn't receive visitors. And visitors started coming in numbers. But immediately when the president closed the country up, then all the business collapsed. People could not even visit again. But since now the country or the country's activities are running to normal, then the activities or the daily activities are running. And I thank God. And it is my sincere hope that we won't get such a disease again, because really people and so many problems.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Would you say that perhaps if we had that museum as yours in different parts of this country, where we have all these different communities, and we have especially the students, because you've mentioned they're your biggest visitors there, and we have these young people visiting different museums from across the country to learn about the different communities and the way of life and the cultural practices. Maybe this will help us appreciate each other's differences and celebrate that. And this, in the long run, will help in building a more cohesive and united Kenya. Do you think?
Thank you. I started with the Meru culture, but right away, there is a piece of land which is remaining. And I've started doing some research on those other communities. For example, Meru and close brothers like Wakisi, Wakamba, Waembu, Wakikuyu. So from next month, I'm starting also to have the history. So I want, when Kikuyu comes here, he or she feels that ako nyumbani, he or she is at home. So I'm looking abroad, I'm looking across, and I've started doing some research already and correcting the artifact from those other different communities in our Kenya, so that I will accommodate each and every community in Kenya. So basically, I'm not looking on Meru culture alone, but remember, I wanted to start with my own, and up to now, I've started going out. For example, if you check around, I think your cameraman will assist you see what I'm doing here.
Please do that as you talk. I'd like to see.
Yeah. Whereby I teach the social, political, and economic activities of the 8 sub-communities of Meru. And then from there, now I'm expanding, going outside, so that we can accommodate each and everybody in this museum.
And also, Mr. Joshua, part of Miriam's question was, she was asking if other communities can also go out there and also create such museums, open up spaces, and maybe that can also create a united and a more cohesive country. That was a question. Maybe you can respond to that.
When we learn about each other's culture and appreciate.
Okay, I think I didn't get the question very well, but I urge the other communities to emulate what I'm doing.
Yes.
So that at least when you visit any community in the Republic of Kenya, maybe you can see the same thing that I have here. And I think by doing that, each and community will be upholding the dignity of its culture. So I urge all the communities to emulate what I'm doing, and I think by doing that, everything will be okay in Kenya, and the people will enjoy.
I would like to see you around, maybe as you explain to us what is happening, maybe the cultural, yes, as you go.
So this is where I teach about the Mau Mau generals in Kenya. So I have the list of all gazetted generals in Kenya, and particularly in Meru. And this is where now we start our homestead. This was the house for them say. This is how the house for them say looked like. And this is the tower. This is where the Meru community used to climb so that they can see the enemies at a distance. Maybe we can go around and see the other houses. This small house here was meant for grinding purposes.
Mm-hmm.
This for grinding purposes.
So that is the traditional grinder.
For the animals.
Yes, Miriam?
That is the traditional grinder he just shown there.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead.
This is the shade for the animals. And then this is the granary. This is the house for the mother. This is the house for the mother. And then this is the house for the girls. This is the house for the girls.
Maybe you can tell her the name in Kimeru.
The name for the girls is called Mudimbere, as you can see. So this is where the girls used to stay alone. That is where the mother used to stay alone, and then themselves. And then there is another structure here. This is where boys were circumcised. So they were circumcised in this particular structure here. And after seclusion period, then they were transferred to this other one. So after initiation, the boys now were transferred to this. It was called Karua and Baka. And then this is where now these young soldiers used to stay, maybe for narrate stories, take their meals. And this was the parliament for the Meru. It's called Karua Gama. So this is where cases and those other things were done and determined. So this is the parliament of Meru.
Okay.
This is the map of the Ranja Meru. You can have a taro. So this is the Gembe. This is the Meru National Park. This is Tigania. And then this is the Taraka. And then this is Imenti, where your cameraman is now. This is Imenti. And this is Mount Kenya. So basically, this is the structure of Meru.
All right.
How Meru, right?
Thank you so much. And that has all been made possible, and by the improved infrastructure in that region that you say, under the leadership of President Uhuru Kenyatta. At least you receive a lot of guests from across a section of the country who visit there every day, and that has been made possible because the place now is more accessible with the good infrastructure. I think that is the bottom line there, Douglas, right?
Yes, Miriam. And also part of the reason why we had to showcase that is that the reason majorly why he has been able to also expand the facilities and all that is that the infrastructure has been able to be improved by the president, built new roads, and especially the bypasses. You don't have to get to Meru Town to get to this place. You can use the bypasses, and also the new road that leads to this village and this particular private museum that he has been able to construct for communities and also generations to come, Miriam.
All right, thank you so much. So, Douglas, I'll put you on pause. Try looking for other things that could interest our viewers. I'll come back to you because I need to catch up with Gladwell and Javan. Also, Javan is in Nyeri County and Gladwell is in Juja right now. So you all are in Mount Kenya today. So, and then I'd like to know their feeling and how, especially your guest today, Douglas, and perhaps how he raised President Uhuru Kenyatta's legacy and his feeling on what President Uhuru Kenyatta has done and perhaps his fight against corruption, how he feels he has scored in that and others. So just keep it there. Continue gathering some information. I'll come back to you. Right now, I'd like to go back to Gladwell Kiragu. Gladwell, if you can hear me, I can see you on the road in Juja. Are you able to talk to us?
Yes, Miriam, I can be able to talk.
All right, so what is the latest? What can you tell us now?
Miriam, from wherever I'm standing, you can see like there are 4 sections. That is the lower side, the upper side.
That is Juja Town. That is Thika Road. Or are we talking about a different road from the main road?
No, this is the main road
Okay.
that is joining Juja, Thika, and back to town, back to Nairobi. That is the road. And then on the upper side, we can see that is the Gatondo road that is joining Gatondo, Juja Farm Road. And Miriam, there are people confused. There are 2 ways you can get to Gatondo. That is, if you're using the Thika Superhighway, you can use the Kenyatta Road, Gatondo Road, or else you can use the Juja Gatondo Road. So wherever I'm covering, it is the Juja Gatondo Road. And Miriam, now this is where all roads meet. So this is at the center. Let me say, so this is Juja town itself. Miriam, you can see this road. It is recently done, this road. That is now, wherever I'm standing, if I decide to go upwards there, then I'll be going to Gatondo. If I dissect to the other section, that is the lower side where you can see the Super Metro, that is the Juja Farm Road. And at a point, it also dissects whereby you take the Nairobi back to road. So Miriam, this road is actually recently done. And the purpose of it being done, that's why it has actually joined the Juja Farm Road recently, Miriam.
Okay, all right, thank you. I think I'm quite familiar with that place. The Juja Farm Road, I think I've used it before it was fixed and it was really horrible. So you're saying now it has been completed?
Miriam, it has actually joined the Gatondo Juja Farm Road. Actually, it has been done, but actually it's not yet done because there are some parts. The road, actually, the Juja Farm Road was actually to reach, if you are familiar, you know a place known as Adi, that will join the other bypass down there, but actually it's up to a Juja Farm Center, so it's not yet completely done. And that's why Miriam's saying that this road has actually taken so many years for it to be done. Yes, as you have said, Miriam, it was a very terrible road to use at back then. Actually the road was actually done the beginning of this year, partially because it had been started, but the contractors reached to a certain point whereby we have the Brookhurst International School, and they didn't continue for a while. So that is when this year they extended it now to Juja Farm Center, Miriam.
Okay, thank you so much. So I'll let you perhaps get into more into the road that you wanted to show us as I catch up with Javan, who is in Nyeri County, the Chaka Modern Market. There's some information that he brought up earlier that excited me, so I want to know. And of course, we've had some history lesson from Meru this morning. I've learned so much about the Meru culture. And what has really struck me is the similarities, because as he was pointing on maybe the house of the man of the home and the wife. I think I've seen that in also other cultures in this country, but it was interesting to know that the girls have their own house, or used to. I don't know if that still happens. So maybe I'll go back, when we go back to Meru again, I'd like to know why the girls sleep separately. I would like to learn that, but we've had a bit of a history and cultural lesson there from Meru culture. And of course, we were speaking to Joshua Murimi, the director of Murithi Cultural Center in Meru. He took a personal initiative. Yes.
Miriam, wherever I am now, you can see that it's not the tarmac, actually. This is, as you're now heading to Juja Farm. you can see still it's not tarmacked. So the tarmac actually starts from a place known as Railway Upper. Now that is the Railway. So the tarmac actually begins from here now. So that is the Juja Farm Road all the way.
Okay.
No, that's the road. Yes.
Yeah, I think I was there, maybe in December last year, I'm not sure, but I think Apokoreli to Livuka, I can't remember exactly, but I think I'm familiar. All right, okay, so the improvement of that road, I don't know, how would the residents say it has changed, their lives by using that road?
Miriam, actually, about this road, let me get wherever I want to set my equipment so that you can speak to, we can interview a few, because I personally speaking on my behalf, yes, this is my home area too, and I can tell you, Miriam, we are now even enjoying going back, going to visit our parents at home, because actually the road is now passable unlike before, so it's an achievement, and you're actually proud of this road, Miriam.
All right, so I'll let you get to your destination. Thank you so much, Glado. And now, as I was explaining there earlier, we were speaking to Mr. Joshua Murimi, the director of Murithi Cultural Center in Meru. He took a personal initiative to set up a private museum. But as he said, through the improvement of the infrastructure in that area, he has received, continued to receive a wide-ranging guests, especially students from different institutions there. And I think it's important if we can have our kids learn more about the cultures we have in this country. Perhaps they will grow up appreciating that indeed our different cultures and diversity is a beautiful thing that ought to be celebrated and should not act as a reason why I don't like the other person, So I think it's very important, and it starts from there. So I think this is a very noble initiative there by Mr. Joshua, and we'll go back there a couple of minutes later. But I'd like to catch up with Jevan Karanja, who is at Chaka Modern Market in Nyeri County. Jevan, good morning.
Good morning, Miriam, and thank you for having me on the show. I'm at Chaka Market. And as you have said earlier, I'm still interacting with one or two people. I was up there, and the facility that I was telling you about, where they have the storage facilities, the cooling system, that system is down there. I don't know whether I can get a pic of that place. But they are telling me that the place is not yet in use because President Uhuru Kenyatta is yet to officiate it officially so that the people in this place can continue enjoying storing their goods there. But for now, from what I'm getting, the product that they are bringing here, it is not even enough because to this extent, they don't need to store their goods, especially the vegetables, because people are coming all the way from Nakuru, Mombasa, and they are buying them and taking them to their places. Up here, as I'm getting up here, this is where the food is sold from, and today I'm getting is ile siku watu wanasamanga siku ya soko, the market day.
Oh, so you've gone there the right day, market day.
Yeah, it's a market day here. So people have come from wide and far so that they can get some fresh product and take to their places. People are coming all the way from Nairobi to get some cabbages in this place, and it's very good. It's a bit congested, and I'm worried if I get there whether you'll be able to get me clearly, because I was there some few minutes and it's a bit crowded, but I'll try to see how it goes.
Jevan, I can see you just taking up the stairs there. How many stories is that market?
Yeah?
How many stories is that market? Because I'm just seeing you taking up the stairs. Ni ghorofa ngapi?
Where the stores are is one big building down there where the people are storing their goods, but it's yet to be open. That is the same place I was told there is a processing unit where they can use to for value addition for their product. And that means a lot for farmers who bring their goods to this place because they can be able to add value to their product. And this means more money in their pockets.
And by setting up of this market, has it been able to address the issue of hawkers? Because I know that is something that Nairobi County is grappling with. There's not enough space where the hawkers, the market was built in Mudhura, it's already full. It cannot hold all the sellers there, so we still have a problem with the hawkers here in Nairobi. Has that market solved a problem with the hawkers?
Thank you, Miriam. Are you asking about the issue of hawkers and how this market has solved the issue?
That is what I'm asking. Thank you. Go ahead.
Yeah. What the market has done, it has brought people, it has created a room where all people, and it's a very huge facility. That means you don't have to go out there hawking your product. And if it's about most people who go around selling their goods, maybe at a retail price, then they can call this place home, because there are a lot of people, there are a number of people who are here. Therefore, it has created job even for those small traders who move around with their goods from one place to another, because they can come here and they can tap potential buyers because of its huge people and the huge interactions that we have in this market. Going outside there, as I was entering, I didn't see even a single person selling their product. Therefore, they have found new home in this place. And even with a small amount, you can have a store where you can sell your product. Therefore, it has really solved the issue of hawking in this place. Maybe where you can get hawkers is up there at the market, at the center, at the Chaka Market Center. But here, there is none. In fact, the people who are around here are the people who are selling coffee, tea, and some mandazis and so on. Those are the ones who I've interacted with, who are doing the hawking part of it.
So the hot coffee, I believe the place is cold now. How much do they pay as a fee? Do they pay it per day? Do they pay it per month? How much do they pay? Have you asked? To be able to, how much do the traders there pay to be able to use that facility? Do they pay a fee per day or a fee per month or yearly? How much?
Maybe I will ask one of them that question, because I have not really asked how much they pay per day or how they carry on their business, or the criterion that is used for and to get here. But in a few minutes, I will maybe interact with one of them, and I'll get to maybe answer your question in a very precise way. But maybe that one we can leave it for now before I get someone to.
Okay, and as you do that too, I know you've said the cold room is not opened yet, but if you can find somebody who can just give us a bit of some details, who perhaps is informed about what that place is meant to do and whatever it is meant to achieve. And you had brought up the issue of the value addition, that processing, I think it's the same thing. So if you can get somebody with that information, I'll appreciate as you look for the other information, Chevan. So please, if you're able to, if not, then it's okay, no pressure. But thank you so much. I'll get back.
I don't know if you can get me clearly. This place is a bit...
Yes, you're very clear. You're clear.
Are you asking whether we can get someone who we can maybe ask one or two questions?
You could ask them for permission first, and then if they're willing to speak to us.
Then to get to me, you have maybe one or two, maybe we can interact with one-on-one.
For sure.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much.
Okay, so when you're ready, just let me know and I'll bring you in.
But as you can see, the products are very fresh. These are some nyanyas which are very clean and ready for sale. And there are all sorts of products in this market, and it's quite good. Therefore, I would encourage our viewers, when they are visiting this side of our country, maybe to stop at Chaka Market, do some shoppings, and maybe it will save them some money, because it's a bit cheap compared to what they get in their towns.
All right, and they're fresh. I feel like going food shopping right now. Okay, Javen, I'll catch up with you in a short bit. So just keep in touch, and when you're ready to, with that information, you can let me know and I'll bring you in. Right now, I'll take us back to Meru County. where Douglas Kirimi is. But before we do that, just some bit of an update as far as President Uhuru Kenyatta's legacy is concerned. And the government soon will commission 1.4 billion Kenya shillings mega tannery and leather factory at Ewaso Nyiro area in Narok South sub-county. The new factory, built by the Ewaso Nyiro South Development Authority, has a capacity to process 800,000 square feet of leather per year, making it the biggest leather factory in the country. Ewaso Nyiro South Development Authority Management Director Mr. Ngala Oloitiptip told the Rift Valley Regional Commissioner Mohamed Maalim that Kenya Meat Commission, KMC, is the biggest supplier of hides to the new factory. Oloitiptip further said the factory was 89% complete and the 11% remaining component is the value addition part. In 2021-2022 financial year, which ended 30th June 2022, the MD said the factory produced 640,000 square feet of leather, but targets to maximize the production this year. And that is, I think, very interesting. And we saw the Deputy President raise this issue of leather and tannery a few weeks ago. And he said, you know, a lot of this hide is going into waste. So perhaps we could set up a value addition plant. And it's good to know that something was actually in the offing. There's a factory being built. And so that is something that will be addressed. So that is interesting. And also hundreds of smallholder coffee farmers in Kisii County will now sell their coffee directly to the global market after signing an agreement with South Korean coffee buying company. The move comes after the government liberalized the coffee sector to remove middlemen and brokers from the supply chain who used to buy the product for a song. For nothing. And the farmers who are members of the Gusii Coffee Farmers Cooperative Union will reap maximum dividends. The deal with the South Korean company will enable the farmers to bypass the current rigorous coffee value chain intermediaries which used to benefit subsidiary players who were not involved in the actual coffee farming. The deal was signed after officials of South Korean coffee buying company Kang Sung-ju visited Kisii County to discuss on the cost of the valuable crop, which authorities say will disrupt initial arrangements between international and local coffee auctions at the Nairobi Coffee Exchange. I think that is what the counties are meant to be doing. Look for opportunities to your people based on whatever it is you're producing as a county governors. That's what you do. You go get partners. You go look for markets for your people. So by removing the middlemen from the coffee that will be coming from Kisii going straight to South Korea, do you know how much the farmers will make? They'll make a lot of money and they'll be able to actually benefit from this product. And you know, a lot of people who have been benefiting are not even the farmers themselves. So that is a very good initiative. And of course, another news item. And as I wait to, I think Douglas, yes, is ready to speak to us. Douglas, if you can hear me, good morning. Douglas, good morning.
Good morning, Miriam.
All
and
right.
I also have one of the beneficiaries of the road projects. His name is Motai. Maybe he can speak to us.
Yes.
He's a boda operator from the region. Mm-hmm. Maybe he can tell us about the benefits of the road network the president has invested here.
All right.
Motai, unaweza sema majina yako, alafu pia useme vile barabara ya rais imesaidia hapa.
Na ni barabara gani hiyo kwanza atuambie? The one he's speaking about.
Coca-Cola, Kidhaku, Mpori Road.
Okay, good. Go ahead.
Majina.
Yes. Majina anaitwa Motai. Mimi ni mmoja wa bodaboda. Hiyo njia imetusaidia sana. Tangu itengenezwe imekuwa cheap kuleta hata wageni tunaletanga hapa hivi daily. Wanakuja ku-observe things here. So niko happy, serikali imetusaidia hiyo barabara kuleta wageni hata siku hizi imekuwa cheap kabisa. So sina mengi ya kusema. Asante, nimeshukuru.
All right, thank you so much. Very short and precise. Thank you so much. Douglas, are you still in the...
Yes, Miriam. maybe thank you for that feature, and maybe I can also now hand to Kenoru International Stadium that has been republished and also improved by the President of the Republic of Kenya at a cost of over 1 billion Kenya shillings, and that is set to be opened before he leaves office in the next 2 to 3 weeks. And maybe the people of Kenya can be able to see what the President of the Republic of Kenya has been able to do in Kenoru. And also people should also know that Kenoru is also connected with feeder roads, access roads that have also been constructed and tarmacked. And now people can be able to access the stadium for local games, international games, and national games media. Thank you.
How far is that Kenoru Stadium? Because our time is also running out. How far
Kenoru is within Kenoru is within Meru town.
How far away in terms of minutes?
From where I am?
Yes.
In less than 15 minutes, I'll be there, Miriam.
Oh, good. Then I'll push and wait a little bit. I'll give you 10 minutes to get there, so start running. Okay. All right. I'll talk to you soon. I'll get there safe. All right. Thank you so much. Gladwell Kiragu is in Juja today. And she was, yes, go ahead, Gladwell.
Thank you so much, Miriam. As you can see, I'm currently at the Juja. No, this is the Juja Farm Road. And actually, I have a business person here with me. And, with this road, it has actually opened so many opportunities. And I'm with a particular manager here. They got a big restaurant, and it's known as the Chemi Gardens. And I would like him to speak, but his camera off shy, so I will just focus on the road.
Okay. Well, the team, we are glad for now for the customers, they're able to reach us on time. They just want to shut down opposite Karimoni Hospital. We offer different services. We have the swimming, we have the restaurant, we have conferences. Like last week we had about 3 conferences, and the road network really opened transport for our customers, so it was easy for them to access us. We say thank you to our government, because the construction of the road is really a maneuver and a great opportunity for us.
All right.
So Miriam, that is one of the managers. They have a restaurant by the name Chemi, and actually it's a new one, Miriam. So you can see with the business, the construction of the Juja Farm Road. As you can see in my background, we can see that some newly constructed business shops have actually been opened. That is the restaurant. It's known as the Chemi, and they have nice delicacies here. It's actually 1 kilometer from Juja town. Actually, you can see the banner there. That is the Kalimoni Mission Hospital. And Miriam, I can tell you, a while back it was crazy, because when somebody got sick with the pathetic road that we had, some were actually dying on the road, on their way to the hospital, because the distance from Juja to somewhere like us is a little bit far. So what the government has done actually with the Juja Farm Road, it's an actually business opportunity opener to so many people, and it is actually helping so many people. We can see the smoothness of it. We can see the matatus approaching. That's the upper side is Juja. Now this is the way to Juja for Miriam. Yes.
All right. Thank you. Thank you so much. So where are you headed now?
Miriam, I want to go see the upper Gatondo Road now.
All right. Thank you so much. So I will be catching up with you in the next few minutes. I think I'll go back to Javan. He was meant to get me some information. Hopefully he's been able to do that. Javan, if you can hear me, good morning. All right. So as we wait for Javan to get in. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm still here at Chaka Market, but what I'm getting is that some people are really frustrated with this market, and wanasema, hebu niongee na mmoja wao hapa, wanasema hii soko ati vile ililetwa ndani, the produce part imeletwa ndani sana, so wanasema wale watu wako huko kwa barabara, they can't access hapa kwa soko. Wanasema hiyo reduce their income, because watu wa kuuza wamewekwa juu, because in the second stall here wako juu. So wanasema heri watu wa kuuza nguo wangeletwa hapa juu, kuliko watu wa kuuza hizi vitu vya kula, kwa sababu watu wengi hawataki kuenda huku juu kununua hizo products.
Okay.
Niko na mzee hapa. Yeah. Maybe unaweza taka nimuulize swali gani?
I wanted to know, Javen,
yeah.
the initial question, I wanted to know maybe how much they pay to use the facility, and do they pay per day, per month, or annually? How much is it?
Yeah.
And is it fair to them?
Yeah, it's a bit fair because on market day like today, they pay 30 bob to use the facility and to sell their products. The market day is twice a week. That is on Wednesday and Saturday. But those who are using the stores, who have their permanent place where they can sell from, they pay 100 bob per month. I think that is quite affordable. Ama namna gani umesema ni 30 bob? Yeah.
Okay, so can you tell us his name and perhaps tell us how he feels about that facility?
Ongeza sauti kidogo.
We can't hear him. Is he able to adjust to that, please?
My name's Geoffrey Jofu.
Yes, good.
Are you getting me?
Yes, I can hear you, Geoffrey. Good morning, and thank you for joining us. Go ahead.
Yes.
Endelea.
Nakusikia.
Yeah.
Mimi nauza nyanya, nauza onion, scam, budget, wakati niko nazo.
Yeah, anasema anauza nyanya na onions na all those vegetables.
Okay, so does the fee that they're charged there, is it fair to him? Does he feel that is fair?
Nalipishwa hapa iko sawa.
Pesa haina shida.
Yeah, haina shida. Wow, haina shida. That bob is a bit fair.
And how can he rate the standard of cleanliness there? Because we know a place like Mudhurwa, it's notorious now. So how would he rate the standard of cleanliness in that market?
Yeah, the cleanliness is on top notch. But I think on a market day like today, there are a lot of their dumps, maybe the byproducts, all these other products. But on a very normal day, the facility is very clean. When you go down there, there are people who are doing the cleaning part of it. I think under the county government of Nyeri, they clean and they make sure that everyone is comfortable when coming to do their shopping in this market.
Does he have an appeal to the county government of Nyeri? What else would they perhaps want to be improved in that facility or done, or what is it that they're having issues with using that facility? Are they able to access water?
Yeah. There's a mama here who can use sema tu hivyo.
Yeah.
They are saying that
you can repeat what she said.
Kama wangerudishwa, wanasema it would be better if wangerudishwa kule chini rather than, but that is the only reservations and the grievances that they have to make to the relevant authorities.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So that is the main problem now.
Yeah.
That is their main problem now.
That is their main problem because they are saying a number of buyers, maybe they prefer buying to those people who are down there rather than using the stairs all the way to this top building.
So they're missing out on clients.
So they are saying they are missing out on potential clients and customers when they're up there, but because still down there are people who are selling. Therefore, it's a bit, the competition is not level.
And seeing that a lot of them are selling almost the same thing, so of course there's the level of competition there is high. Do they have a constant supply of water?
Yeah.
Do they have a constant supply of water? Yeah.
Yeah, wanasema maji is plenty of water. Na when you go allow the facility, kuna water points So maji sio shida hapa.
Wananunua, are they buying or it's just being offered as part of?
Maji is free, wanapewa na the government of Nyeri County.
Okay.
So maji, they have no problem with that. So every product here they are selling is clean.
All right. I think that's
I visited the kind of the public facility where the washrooms and the sanitation area, and it's very clean. The toilets are awesome, and I think the government of President Uhuru Kenyatta has really tried to modify this place, and they are saying now they're out of the scorching heat, raining, and the dumpy area where they were before coming here, and they are quite happy. Only problem that they have is that issue of the stores being too much away from the main road.
All right, thank you so much. But were you able to get me any information on that value addition facility or not yet?
Yeah. The mzee who I've interacted with have told me that the cooling plant that maybe was part of the project is still there, but it's not in use. So they are not quite sure whether the facility has the right equipment or what is delaying the use of that facility. But down there, I saw where the area that was set aside for that cooling system and the refrigeration part of it. And it is not open for public use because the doors are closed, but that is where, and that is the area that was set aside for that very noble exercise. Therefore, maybe in future when I will come here again, maybe I will come and see what have maybe have developed from this process. But what I'm gathering, maybe when President Uhuru Kenyatta will be coming to commission this market, maybe he will commission with that the processing, the value addition unit and the refrigeration part of this market.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for that update. Is there anything else you would like us to know or they would like us to know from that place?
Yeah, maybe the overall, maybe from my observation, the overall feeling of the wananchi here, the buyers, the sellers, and everybody here, they are happy. They look enthusiastic, they are jovial, and they feel like this market has really changed their lives, especially for buyers and the clients who are coming here. I think to them, this is a relief. They don't have to go in the farms looking for fresh products, maybe from the farms, but they can come here and access them as fresh as they could have gotten them from the farms. I think the buyers are the overall beneficiaries of this market.
Okay. Thank you so much for that update. And if at all you're able to maybe just get us information out there, because I think we've gotten what we needed from that market, and hopefully that the cold room or the processing plant inside the market, hopefully that will be done soon so that they're able to fully benefit from, some of the activities that will be carried out in there. Thank you so much, Evan Karanja, for that reporting. Okay, so we've been joined right now from, Nakuru, Kiptanui Sivania. Kiptanui, good morning. Okay, Kiptanui is still setting. Kiptanui, can you hear me? Good morning.
Good morning, Miriam.
All right, how are you today?
I'm fine. I'm actually joining you from Nakuru County on Nakuru-Nairobi Highway. I should be on that there is a bypass ahead of me. Some few minutes I will light, then I will bring you more. Thank you for having me this morning.
All right, so what's new before you head over there? What's new there? What can you tell us?
I was joining. Maybe you continue. Then I will join you in some few minutes.
Yes, we only have a few minutes, so hopefully we can have you as soon as possible. And all right, just make your way there. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. And Residents of Trans Nzoia County will soon benefit from 1.2 billion Kenya shillings Keep to God Kolongolo water supply project, which will be completed by the end of the month. Speaking during a media tour of the project organized by Office of Government spokesperson, the engineer in charge, Charles Wamalwa, said the water project targets a population of over 200,000 residents in its catchment area. Engineer Malwa revealed that the project will ensure sufficient access to quality water and sanitation services for domestic and industrial use in the area. And according to Amalwa, through Gravity, the 1.2 billion Kenya shillings water project funded by the African Development Bank and the government of Kenya will supply at least 17 million litres of water to residents of Kwanza and Ndebe's constituencies and its environs. That is also some very good news there for a part of some residents there in Trans Nzoia County. About 200,000 of them are set to benefit from that water project. Gladwell, is there something that you'd like to bring us up to date with from where you are right now?
Yes, Miriam, I got a section of a few people, business people, the border operators in Juja, and actually I would like a few to speak to us. You can see wherever I'm standing, you can see there's a section of the road that has been done, which actually has east traffic. And I want you to bring to you, these are the border operators. A few of them actually shifted from the main stage that is up there due to congestion, and actually they're up here down, which is making them easy for them to carry on with the operation. So I want to bring one of you to explain to us how the business is doing and actually the advantage they have on the business when the road was actually, because it's the road was stretched, how they are feeling and how the operation is actually going.
Mm-hmm. And tell them they're free to speak in whatever language that they're comfortable in. So,
yes. Use the language you're comfortable in, but so everything.
Tutaelewa tu.
And then you'll be audible. Habari yako?
Poa sana.
Majina?
Majina naitwa Kelvin Kimathi, aka Noisemaker, na ndugu hapa Juja. Hii ndio stage yangu.
So hii barabara, let's say it has been expanded kwa sababu kabla tunaona ilikuwa Miriam, as you can see, that is a section of the upper side. So hii barabara imekuwa extended and I can see umetoka the main stage to hapa chini mahali unapepea. So mnasikiaje kama bodaboda operators na hii barabara ni nini nawafanya mfurahie?
Okay, for me naweza sema aje, tuna feel nice sana, tunapata tukiwa ile place pale before tutengeneze hapa. Tulikuwa tunapigana sana, unapata kazi na kuwa chini, before kila mtu abebe, unajipata jioni na pesa kidogo. Maana. So hii barabara ndio ilijengwa hivi, walitusaidia sana. Ofisi hata kama ni vile tatu hakuna, lakini wametusaidia sana. Sasa hii at least tunasukuma. Kama hakuna jamu huko tunapata at least pesa poa ya chini.
And now so here it's actually more comfortable kuliko huko juu.
Sema iko poa tu. Unacheki pale wasee wamejaa, like kuna congestion sana. So unapata competition ya business unapata pesa utapata pesa unapata kama pesa kwa hiyo. Unaona? Pale unapata the more kwa wengi the more mnaenda na naka. Na before kila mtu abebe pesa wote, unapata kuna pesa kidogo tu.
Yeah, so Miriam, as you can see, the borders here, they're actually many. They shifted, but there are also others actually on the mid-side line. You know, this is the super metro. Actually, the buses, that is where they have made their stage to be. So you can see it's actually an achievement also of the Uhuru's legacy. That is in Kiambu, Juja constituency. Miriam.
And I want to know, I think it's very important that you're speaking to them this morning, because earlier in March, remember after that incident at Forest Road, that lady that was harassed by a few border riders, had the government initiate some measures to ensure that the border sector is streamlined. So the government officially launched the registration of border operators and the subsequent issuance of smart driving license to qualified riders in all the 52 Huduma centers across the world, in Kenya. And the initiative aims at, as I said there earlier, streamlining border subsector and promote road safety as well as security for the operators and users of the services. And of course, the government is doing this registration for the security of the border. That is what the government said, and their clients, and enjoy their job and avoid running away from the police. And they're supposed also to be issued by the National Health Insurance Fund. The first 200,000 licensed boda are supposed to be given that, covering a 12-month period. Have they taken advantage of this registration? Have they registered? And do they have their smart driving licenses?
Miriam, I think it's better we hear from the horse's mouth.
Ask them.
Nataka kukuuliza, the government has put measures. Kama unakumbuka the forest road case whereby the lady was actually harassed, and the government actually ilisema that the 200,000 bodaboda to register watakuwa allocated for
watapewa NHIF na wapatiwe huduma watapatiwa smart driving license. Wamechukua hiyo license.
Kuna chances, kuna high risk of kubeba customers juu sana walikuwa wanataka kuwa na insurance nini zote, so ilibidi unaanza step tena. Office kulienda hata kama tujapata hadi saa hii, office hatujipa kuliendelea, but mimi ni register kwa sasa. Na hofu ya bodaboda yangu nisimamishe nishikwe tu, sasa sina insurance, inabidi sasa ni apply. Niki apply video but office for now sitaletewa.
Alienda wapi? Ulienda where did he go?
Where did you go to register?
Hapa Juja. Okay, tulikuwa napewa form na chairman, unajaza and then unamrudishia na tunapale NHIF.
Sasa let me talk to him and remind me his name. Is he Kevin?
Yeah.
Kevin, habari ya asubuhi. Sasa unafaa kwenda huduma namba, you and your friends, mwende huduma namba, not huduma namba, huduma center. Uko ndo mnafaa kuchukua hizo vitu na mchukue kwa sababu the time is running out. Yes, mwende huduma centers, mtasaidika huko. Enda tu, just take yourself to huduma center, you'll get the help there.
Kuna any charges?
Hapana, it's free. Hakuna charges, ufai kuchajiwa anything, ni free. Kwa hivyo hata saizi today ukipata chance, enda huduma center, enda ulize huko, utasaidika, ni bure.
Requirements ni zile tu?
Ni zile lakini haulipi chochote. Enda tu with your ID, and I'm sure if you have your your driver's license, utapatiwa a smart driver's license for free, and on top of that utapewa a 12-month NHIF card. Kwa hivyo kama unaweza pata nafasi to go there even today, enda huduma center, utasaidika. So you and your friends should do that today. Thank you so much, Kevin.
So Miriam, I think that's the situation with most boda. I think they just filled the form, as you can see them from my background. They just filled the form, and actually we enlightened them. Now they have to go to the Huduma Center for them actually for faster services, Miriam, and they have actually agreed that they will go.
Now, wasilipishwe, tell them it's free. The government wanted to help that out, so it's free. So nobody's charging them anything. So they should go, and personally to the Huduma centers, not from through anybody else. Through the Huduma centers, that they'll get the help. Yes.
Yeah. So apart from the border, Miriam, as you can see from a background, also business opportunities. Miriam, I think this road has actually been done 3 months ago. As you can see, it totally. And it is congestion. Miriam, the place was so much congested. The business here are blooming, as you can see. We got butcheries, we got so many businesses here, and people actually driving in Juja, also with the construction and the opening and the extension of this road, Miriam.
All right. I just love that there's not so many people there, so I kind of like that.
Yeah, it's not congested.
It's nice. Yes. I like that, and the road is really nice, clean and nicely done. Thank you so much, Gladwell, for that. Thank you so much for your time this morning. I'd like to get an update from Douglas, and I think we shall be winding up. Yes, Kiptanui, good morning.
Yeah. Good morning, Miriam. Can you get
Nakupata. Where are you?
Very
and
nice.
What's happening where you are?
Good morning to you, Miriam. Good morning to my sister Gladwell. Good morning to Douglas. Good morning to Daktari, Punchline viewers and panelists. I'm coming to you from I'm coming to you live in Nakuru, from Nakuru Nairobi Highway. I'm actually some few meters from the bypass here. This bypass connects Nyahururu and Nakuru. And actually this area, Miriam, long time before Uhuru Kenyatta gave us this bypass, there was a lot of jam around here. So I'm actually standing on that bypass to bring you more. If you can see that background is Kisumu, Nakuru rehabilitated railway line.
Oh, the railway line.
Yes, the railway line, and you can see some people have cleared bushes here. Gasim Tan is going on around here. So some few days this place was so bushy, but after President Uhuru Kenyatta came up with Kasim Tahani, the young people here have been employed. They are clearing these bushes around here. Now, Miriam, let me update you on what I learned yesterday about border riders. When I was in Naswet, I actually realized, Miriam, that these border riders, they have a lot of information. They know a lot of things. So if we can use them, Miriam, if we can support them, if we can love them, if we cannot victimize them, they can give us a lot of information. I thank God, Miriam, because the deputy of OCS of that place, Naswet. You know, Naswet is a hot spot. Recently, in 2020, there was tribal clashes between Okia community and Kipsigis. And remember, it is in the slopes of Mau Forest. So they arrow each other. So we had a successful security meeting over there. It was sponsored by Mid-50 And Miriam, there are a lot of things that are coming up during these elections. Suddenly somebody stood, when he was given microphone, he said, we've been profiled. If you can go to their stage in Njoro. They have been told Kalenjins, Bukai, Lesaibi, on this stage, we are staying in this side. And we decided to engage them yesterday, and we are also planning another security meeting in Njoro, Miriam.
Okay, so what was the call for action from yesterday's meeting? I know the authorities, they were meeting with border riders and other groups. So what was the call for action at the end of the meeting?
Actually, at the end of the meeting, Miriam, we and border riders with their chairpersons, we signed peace accord. We agreed that they are going to spread peace during this election and after elections. And Miriam, we came up with only one name. That there is no Kikuyu, there is no Kalenjin, there is no Kisi. All of them are border riders. All of them they must develop one name. That we ask each one of them, the person you are carrying, you must know where he's going, where he's coming from, and if you see that this person I'm carrying is a security threat, you just inform that about the border guys, and they were so happy, Miriam. And then they complained that they have been harassed by police, and then we asked them, the government gave you a grace period so that to register. You need to comply. And you see, there are so many challenges, Miriam, with these border guys, because mostly of these border they are writing, they are not theirs. This is maybe Mimi Kiptanui. I just go, I pick a border in the shop, then I pay loan. And then I hire somebody to do for me that, so that I can be giving me 400 shillings. So it is also a challenge. I think in the next government or in the next subsequent years, Miriam, we can reduce the tax so that we allow these people to be getting these things. Another be getting these pickies. Another thing, Miriam, is that we as the government is registering these people, it will also help us because they are also given a number. So you will be able to know who carried it with me, who carried this person. If you are being carried and then you are killed somewhere along the bush over there, Miriam. So you will be able to know them. And then lastly, Miriam, recently you saw a group in this town called Confirm. Where I'm standing now, Miriam, some distance from here, around 20 meters, one person stole a mobile phone. While you are speaking with your mobile phone, somebody anaendesha pikipiki just comes, snatches your phone and runs away. But we thank the security in this town, Miriam, and the new county commander who came from Kasarani. This town now, Miriam, the security is okay. You can no longer hear those people call confirm. Thank you. I submit.
All right, thank you so much for that update, Kiptanui, all the way from Nakuru County. Thank you so much for that, and of course, for bringing us up to date with that meeting that you were attending yesterday, and indeed some of those issues that were addressed and the issues that were raised there are very important, and I'm happy that the authorities are engaging with the border. I think this is something that should be encouraged countrywide, so that we're able to work together. And as you've said, these border people, they have a lot of information because they carry all manner of people and they go to all manner of places. So they could be very good allies, even as far as addressing the matter of insecurity is concerned. So I think this is an initiative that should be replicated across, the country. Border industry is here to stay. They're not going anywhere. Matter of fact, it's growing. So I think it's about time that we formulated policies in place that will ensure a streamlining of this industry, and also that engages with the authorities and with the other systems, so that we're able to work cohesively and they're not looked at as a menace. I know they can be something else, but they're here to stay. So we have to find a way to coexist and also to accommodate them in a properly structured society. So thank you so much. Douglas, you will end it for us. Have you arrived to Kinoro? Was it Kinoro Stadium?
Yes, Miriam, I've arrived at Kinoro Stadium, but I'm seeking security clearance for the same.
Yes.
But as soon as I'm done, I'll be able to end the show for you.
We are ending
in a moment.
We're ending now, but I can see from outside it appears quite attractive. So it will be interesting to see inside. So when was this completed?
No, the stadium is already completed, Miriam. The president is about to open it in about 2 weeks to 3 weeks before he leaves office. And it's been refurbished at a cost of 1 billion Kenya shillings. And let me finish up with this security officials and the people in charge, then I'll get to you in the next minutes.
Okay, all right, thank you. It appears as though a high-profile person is there. That is a helicopter just parked close to that. So from outside it looks very attractive. So I'll be interested to see what the inside looks like. As I was saying, and perhaps some other update, the county government of Migori has partnered with the United Kingdom in developing a tool that will enable the county to map energy systems across its 8 sub-counties. The collaboration will be implemented through a UK-based organization, Ricardo, working under the County Decentralization Energy Systems Program. Unveiling the energy toolkit in Migori Town, CODES project leader Ms. Jacqueline Nyaoro stated that the project assumes that the best usage of energy is derived from where it is used. This, she explained, will call for bringing the resource closer to where the users are, hence the concept around energy centralization. So the UK government and Migori County are partnering to work on an energy project that is set to benefit the people there. And according to the project leader, the toolkit primarily focuses on the electrification, while also considering aspects around cooking fuel, in cooperation cross-sectional sectors within the county. So that is also very interesting. So in other news also, the National Land Commission has launched tools to monitor and oversee the implementation of the National Spatial Plan and the National Land Use Policy. Speaking during the launch in Nairobi, Defense Cabinet Secretary Eugene Wamalwa said the National Land Use Policy sets out long-term goals on land use management to promote the best land use practices for optimal utilization of land resources. Wamalwa noted that the National Spatial Plan is one of the flagship projects identified under the Kenya Vision 2030 and provides a national spatial structure that defines how national space is utilized to ensure optimal and sustainable use of land. That was also launched a couple of days ago there.
Miriam.
Yes.
I have been cleared. Maybe I can do the...
Go ahead. Update us now.
I'm coming to you live from Kinoru Stadium, Miriam. It's a 1 billion Kenya shillings project by President Uhuru Kenyatta and also the county government of Meru. For those that would want to know the background of the establishment of Kinoru Stadium, the former governor of Meru, the current agriculture minister, Peter Munya, constructed this stadium, published it, then Kereito Murungi tried to do some work, but also the president has brought in over 1 billion Kenya shillings to be able to republish this stadium to international standards. They have created a world-class masterpiece here. They have constructed new terraces. They have constructed a new field behind me. And also, Miriam, one thing that the people of Kenya should know is that during the construction of the new stadium, the Kinoru Stadium, Sports Kenya has been able to invest over 1 billion Kenya shillings to republish this project, and it's a project that the President of the Republic of Kenya is expected to come and open up, and also Kinoru Stadium is going to accommodate over 60,000 fans or Kenyans or people at a time, and also the capacity of the stadium has been increased. The security features have also been installed, and also the social amenities. People can come hold meetings at the Kinoru Stadium, and also there's an LD center from the county government adjacent to Kinoru Stadium. So the health of the people that accesses this stadium, Miriam, maybe in the next 2 weeks to 3 weeks as the president leaves office, will also be able to access better health care services and also access social amenities across Meru town. And also the road network itself, especially the bypasses, people can be able to access Kinoru Stadium from different parts of Meru town and its suburbs. They do not necessarily need to go to Meru town because the president has been able to invest in such magnificent infrastructure. Together with the county government of Meru, they've been able to do that, Miriam. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. And I can see the facility has a 6-lane tartan track, a VIP lounge and other facilities. And of course, Kinoru Stadium, which will be the largest in the Upper Eastern region, was among the venues that had been selected to host the 2018 African Nations Championships matches that has been closed since 2018. However, Kenya lost the rights to host the Premier Tournament due to lack of enough stadiums. I think this will go a long way in helping the country host some of these, international tournaments. And the capacity is about 25,000 people, I believe. Yeah, is it? It's about 25,000 people. So I think...
Yes, Miriam, the capacity of the stadium is about 25,000 to 30,000. And that what has been able to be achieved. Before, we had no such stadium in the county or in the region. And the second to Kinoru Stadium is the Kirobia Stadium in Chuka, which also has been constructed by the administration of President Uhuru Kenyatta, actually, which was earmarked in the 9 stadiums that were to be constructed from the scratch by the government of the Republic of Kenya. Remember, Kinoru Stadium is not a project that was started from the scratch by the President of the Republic of Kenya, but it has been republished at a cost of 1 billion Kenya shillings, Miriam. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. And that's where we stop this morning. Thank you, Douglas Kirimi from Meru County. You've done a wonderful job today. Thank you, Jevan Karanja from Nyeri County. You've also done an excellent job. And thank you, Gladol Kirago. You've also done a very good job this morning. And of course, Kiptanui Sivania. Thank you all so much for your time this morning. This has been an extended version of Good Morning Africa. We have been keeping up to date with President Uhuru Kenyatta's legacy and listening and hearing from the people who have benefited from some of these projects and just to hear how some of these projects have changed their lives, if at all. My name is Miriam Ogoto. It has been a pleasure. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.